Recording. There we go. Okie dokie. So, for those of you that don't know me, my name's Chloe. I'm a busy mum. I've got two boys who hopefully are getting into bed now, and I live down in Kent, in Tunbridge Wells. I love healthy nutrition. It's absolutely changed my life, and I'm basically tonight. I'm not speaking as a skin specialist or a health professional. I'm speaking to you as a girl who battled horrendous skin for 20 years and has literally made it her mission to help anybody that she can with anything to do with skin, whether it's inflammatory or problem skin, acne, scarring, anything like that, and just share it from my perspective and some of the really simple tips and tricks and health hacks and things that have really, really supported me. And I feel passionate about it because if somebody had shared this with me when I was 12, it would have saved 20 years of absolute and utter misery. So I've got some slides that I was beavering away on doing today. So I'm going to literally just make a start and share them with you. I'm just going to get the thingy set up. Hang a second. Well, that'll do. Right. So healthy. This is for me. It's all everything I do is to do with has to be quick, simple, because we're all busy in life. So how to get healthier skin in a really simple way. So I will share my journey with you, the tips that have helped me, the nutritional support that I absolutely swear by, how diet and lifestyle affects our skin, some of the makeup brands that I recommend, and simple facial care. I mean, for me, I don't believe that beauty has to cost the earth. It can be so cheap. I think my entire cupboard is about, I don't know, 30 quid or something. So we don't have to spend loads of money on products. And then really good websites that are worth taking notes on. And if you have got a pen and paper, you'll probably want to jot some little bits down that I mentioned during the call. So when I say I know what having bad skin is like, I really do know what it's like to have bad skin. I documented my face because I was spending an absolute fortune on it. I've never added up roughly how much it was, but it's probably over 10,000 over 20 years. At this time, I was having laser and light therapy and peels that were very painful. You can tell by the redness of my face. When I smiled in business meeting, my face would split open. And it was just ugly. It was horrible, painful, miserable. And I had this right up until I was 32 years old, and nothing I did worked. The second picture at the top, I've actually got all my makeup on for a day at the office. I mean, I feel really sad when I look at these pictures of me. It's not like I'm looking at me, it's like I'm looking at this poor girl that was just so trapped in her own skin. And every time I looked in the mirror, I just felt disgusting and dirty and horrible and helpless. And yet I never gave up. I couldn't understand why, when I had such a good, healthy diet and my friends around me were smoking and eating rubbish and fast food, why did I look like this when I'd been brought up on a brilliant diet and done my absolute best? I couldn't understand. I knew something wasn't right, and I just felt determined to try and get to the bottom of it. My This is a picture of me at work actually, just before I went to the hospital. I used to get blood poisoning from my face, so it would track down into my lymph, and then I would get this red tracks running up my arm, and I'd have to go in and have a drip and go on antibiotics, IV drips. So I did try everything. It started when I was 12. They put me on antibiotics and then the pill, and then topical creams, and then you move to lasers. I actually went on Roaccutane, which is a really strong, aggressive drug, 5 times. I saw nutritionists, dietitians, homeopaths. I tried gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan. I did everything. And I think I've tried every product that exists known to man, and nothing worked. So when I met my future husband, I went on Google and I decided that I had PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and I went to the doctors and I had a scan, and they said it was the worst case they'd ever seen, and that I would be infertile and not be able to have my own kids. And when they measured my bloods, I had more testosterone than a teenage boy. So that kind of explained the mood swings that I was prone to. So when you're told in your mid to late 20s that you're never going to be able to have children as a woman, it kind of knocks you for six. And after a couple of weeks of crying, I just got angry and thought, no, I'm not having that. So I went out trying to find the solution. I went on to Google, and that kind of started the rabbit hole for me of opening doors and looking into herbs and the natural route, because it was very clear after 20 years, or it wasn't 20 years then, it was about 15, that no doctors were going to help me. They'd given me every drug they could, and the next choice was, okay, let's strip it right back and let's see what I can do through natural treatments. I did become a mum. I had Arthur. My face was so toxic after he was born. I got hospitalized again, and then I had a miscarriage, and then I was pregnant with Freddie, and I started having a miscarriage with him. And that's when I met Jeff at the Atman Clinic, and everything changed for me. He was absolutely amazing, and I didn't have my miscarriage, and I truly believe it's thanks to him. And he introduced me to simple nutrition, and helped me basically understand why my skin was the way it was. We are all prone to getting stuck in a stress cycle, the fight and flight. That absolutely drains your adrenals and the cortisol that you need, and I'll talk about this a little bit later on. But do I talk about it later on? I think so, yes. And then he also talked to me about inflammation being at the root cause of disease and imbalance. And he also worked out why it happened to me right from the start. It was down to, a lot of it was down to my delivery, my birth, because I came out so quick. I created damage to my pituitary and it never got realigned. And there's so much that you can do through natural holistic treatments and things. But then I started to understand about the role of antioxidants and fruits and vegetables and how we can support our adrenals every day, which you all want to be doing if you're on this call. I'd say that probably 99% of the British population are adrenally exhausted, and how we need to every day be supporting our body to detoxify. And he introduced me to Juice Plus, which is a product I swear by and have been taking ever since I met him back in 2013. I've been on the product, so it's 8 years now. And then I just kind of went out and learned what I could as well. You know, what can I put on my face? What makeup can I wear? What can I, and this is why I think when you've got skin problems, whether it's rosacea, psoriasis, eczema, anything, even just aging and things like that, it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. And of course, as soon as you put a post out there, or as soon as you ask somebody, you get bombarded. Try this, try this, try that. This will be amazing. I swear by this. And the noise is exhausting. And when I help clients of mine, because I do help a lot of people with bad skin, I just like to help them find that needle in a haystack. And I think there's simple shortcuts to doing that. And that's why I wanted to do this call tonight. So I'm not an expert. I'm just the kind of, I've been there, I've done it. I've got the t-shirt, I've got the scars, I've got the 20 years of angst to go with it and all the photos. And that's why I just feel if I can share what I know, just from my personal perspective, it might help somebody else. So in terms of what we can do, we can try and understand why the skin might be a problem. Why is our skin causing us problems? We need to understand how stress and toxins have a massive impact on us. We also need to make sure what we're putting on our skin is good. We need to make sure it's non-comedogenic, and I will explain that to you later. And we need to address our diet and our lifestyle, because at the end of the day, you are what you eat. Your cells build out of what you put in the body. If you're fueling your body with fatty hamburgers, you're going to be fatty on the inside. And this is where I really struggled, because I always had such a good diet. And people I knew who had great skin didn't necessarily have great diets. Funnily enough, 20 years later, I've seen them and they've aged massively. And I actually think, in spite of my scars, I still look good. So obviously there's the aging aspect, but I couldn't understand, in spite of diet, why did I still have this bad skin? But it all kind of just came together for me when I learned it and understood it more. And then, of course, we need to be detoxifying and cleansing our body and supporting the role of the skin, because your skin is the largest organ of your body. It covers your entire body. You detoxify the most through your skin. So if you're not healthy from the inside, the skin will tell you. And this is why, you know, when I work with clients who do struggle with their skin, I do advise they do a cleanse program with me and with us, because it really kind of kickstarts the healing process. Now, you might have seen this. This is the skin map of the face. Now, you will see all my acne, the majority of my acne was the lower half of my face. I used to call it my purple beard, because I had this purple mark here. It's all your sex organs, your hormones. So your hormonal acne tends to be around here. But if you've got deep toxicity, you'll probably also have it on your forehead because of your liver, which is like a major detoxification organ. Now, tracing all my stuff back, when I was young, I used to have constant ear infections and I was always on antibiotics. And then as I grew up and things changed, it moved to chest infections. Now, I had a lot of probably toxicity from that. And also because I was training a lot in athletics. So I did probably 10 to 15 hours of sport a week, maybe more. And that's a lot for a growing body. And if it wasn't being fueled properly, you create oxidative stress, this toxic output. So I can kind of start to sort of see the picture of why my skin was so bad. But if any of you do struggle with issues on your face, have a look at what it might be linked to. And for me, I truly believe that our skin, yes, it matters what you put on the outside, but I really think that's the lesser part. And I think your skin, your beauty comes from within. And you have to make sure the inside is okay. I think it's kind of an 80-20 or 70-30 balance. Don't get me wrong, if I put the wrong thing on my face, the next day I'll have a line of spots where I put it. But equally, when my balance goes out of whack and my healthy lifestyle isn't on track, my skin will tell me very quickly. So first question really to ask yourself is, what is your diet like? Because we'll be touching upon that later. What are the type of products that you're using? Do you know what's on your labels? What's in the back, where you got them from, what you're really putting on your skin every day? Because as much as your skin detoxifies, it absorbs. The largest organ on your body will absorb whatever you put on it. How are your levels of stress? And I imagine that if you're like me, we live in a really stressful world. Everybody's kind of functioning at 100%, right? So most of us have reasonably high outputs of stress these days. What's your level of toxicity like? Are you mindful of toxins? And we'll cover on that. Do you take medication? Because any man-made little pill is ultimately a toxic load or will carry side effects as well. And oh my God, don't get me started on Roaccutane and the pill and all the stuff they put me on. It was like putting petrol on a fire, it just really aggravates me. And then is your gut well supported? You have more living cells in your gut than you have in the rest of your body. Ultimately, your health is down to your gut. So you need to be thinking about your gut health as well. And with that, the inflammation inside your body, because everything stems from inflammation. So that leads me to share my experience of stress from what I've learned from Jeff, especially, and things, because when you look at stress and how it affects the kind of hormonal level, this is what you will have happen to you. So stress obviously has massive impacts on heart and everything, but when you're just looking at the more kind of thing that might affect your skin, like the precursors in the brain and that sort of thing, exhaustion, if you're chronically fatigued, because it has a big impact on your cells, migraines, acne, hives, depression, sleep deprivation, eating disorders. When I speak to clients with bad skin, they also tend to have anxiety and depression, and be really exhausted, maybe not sleep well, but this always goes hand in hand. And also actually some breathing issues as well. A lot of them might have asthma and things like that. So it's really interesting. So if you think of stress, if you think of your body as a car, stress is your rust on the inside. I always think it's the Achilles heel. You can go through loads of stuff, but stress, I think, is the biggest one to affect your health the quickest. And Jeff did the most amazing webinar for us before summer about the impact of stress on our health. And if you'd like to watch that recording, you should. It really disrupts our sex hormones. So if you're getting skin outbreaks and you're stressed, it's because your sex hormones are getting disrupted. There's a thing called the progesterone tree. It's really fascinating. But basically, my understanding is that you have your adrenals that sit on your kidneys and they pump out cortisol. And you need your cortisol to help you cope with stress, but you only have so much of it. Once you've used up all your cortisol, the next place your body will go is to progesterone, which is one of your dominant sex hormones, because when you divide progesterone in half, you end up with 2 parts cortisol. This is why I had my first miscarriage. I was chronically stressed for a year, and my body was taking the progesterone needed for the baby to give to me to help me create cortisol. That's why they say to avoid stress in your first 3 months of pregnancy, because after that, the baby kicks in its own hormones. So you need to be careful when you're chronically stressed, because those adrenals will pump out and you get stuck in a stress cycle. And if you can't then after a while switch that off, and it just keeps going. And I've had conversations with Jeff where I'm like, I'm trying to calm down, but it's like I can't get a grip. And he's like, because you're caught in that stress cycle, and you need to find ways to switch those adrenals off and replenish them. So we need to be very mindful, because if we don't keep it in check, you start affecting your thyroid and things like that. It massively affects your immune system, your gut, and every aspect of balance that you've got in the body. So of course, when we do get stuck in this stress cycle, so it's not, your adrenals and your cortisol is there to help you if a lion walks into your room right now. If a lion walks in, your cortisol is going to release, you're going to get a massive hit of adrenaline, your heart rate's going to go up, and you're going to be able to run away. The problem is, if you are caught in stress for a prolonged period of time, say if you're miserable at work and you're going through something really intense at home that goes on for weeks and months, that's gonna cause a problem to your adrenals. So this is me. If I'm stressed, my skin tells me straight away. And as soon as I'm stressed and I keep getting these little outbreaks, then I'll just jump straight on a 10-day cleanse program just to reset everything for me. But you might notice, and it might not just be your skin, if somebody has IBS or migraines, who finds they get worse when they're stressed? So my top tips would really be to try and find a way to do meditation, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just taking some time for you. Make sure you get enough sleep, because all of your cranium and your sacrum, everything opens up when you're asleep, and that really helps the body drain and repair. So we have to get a lot of sleep. You can also really help support your adrenals with magnesium. You can get an oil, it's not expensive. You can just get an oil rub that you just put into your skin, or you can get a spray on the tongue. Magnesium is one of the most effective and most needed vitamins that our bodies need, and B vitamins, they're really essential for good adrenal support. Okay, and then our diets, you can research adrenal diets, and it'll all be to do with good plant-based nutrients and things like that. But just try and carve some time out for you every single day. I know it sounds like wishy-washy, but it's so important. For me, taking the dog for a walk every morning, that's a big thing for me. And then just doing deep breaths, big long breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, really trying to manage your stress levels. It's a big one. And this moves me on to skincare routine, because I talk to clients about it all the time, and I'm really glad I'm recording this, because I can just literally send them this. But for me, it can just be as simple as the classic cleanse, tone, moisturize, and make sure you're wearing a good quality SPF as well. It doesn't have to be in the summer. This computer screen is giving off damage to the skin. So when you're driving in the car, through the glass window, so you should be wearing an SPF every day. And then of course, on top of that, you go and see skin specialists and things, you can do exfoliation, you need vitamin C, serum, salicylic acid, all that kind of stuff, retinol. But literally it can be as simple as cleanse, tone, moisturize. Now, I always advise double cleansing as well if you're wearing makeup, because typically one wash isn't enough. There'll still be residues. So I put some makeup on for this tonight, so I didn't look too washed out. It's been a Monday morning, been up since 5 for some reason. So yeah, I will double cleanse tonight. So just literally cleanse, take it off, go again, do it 2 times. It also really, by doing it twice, it will really stimulate all of the healthy stuff in your skin. But this sounds really weird. Don't wash with water. So one of the tips that I got from one of my skin professionals is, when you go in the shower and you're just standing on the shower, and when you come out, if you don't moisturize straight away, your face gets tighter and tighter and tighter. Your water is so dehydrating because it strips the oil out of your skin. Okay, so I was always advised, don't stand under the shower and do that. But obviously we're going to do that. But when you're cleansing, you use microfiber cloths. Okay, and Sarah, who I'll show you in a bit, she says they have to be like fluffy clouds. And the ones I was using, my microfibers were like scrapey. They have to literally be like a billowy cloud, and I'll show you the ones that I use. And what you simply do when I talk about cleansing, okay, I will wash my hands. Okay, so this is the routine. Wash your hands with soap and water, make sure your hands are clean, okay? Make them a little bit damp. Put a tiny bit of your cleanser on, massage it all in, stimulate your skin, give your face a nice massage, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to get your cloth, you're going to run it under warm water, not hot, not cold, nice warm water. Then you get as much water out of that cloth as possible. And then with one side of the cloth, you wipe it all off. If you're double cleansing, remember which is the dirty side, repeat, rub it all in. Second side, rinse it under the hot water again, rinse it out. You have to get all the water out that you can, and then you wipe it off, okay? And then you can tone if you want to, and then it's just moisturized. So water will strip the oils away, dehydrate you, age your skin. It's really not great. And when I speak to people and they're like, I just use soap and water, it's like, oh my God. Or like, I'm sure most of you do it, where you put the cleanser on and then you just flush the water in, wash it all off. That will just really, really exhaust your skin. So try and invest in some microfiber cloths. You just wash them after every use in the washing machine. I have 7. They get washed each week. That would be that one. And remember that everything takes time. Your skin is a 90-day cycle. So like, I always see people like, oh, I used this product for 4 days and it did nothing for me. You have to commit for 3 months to anything that you do with your skin, whether you're trying out a new makeup, whether you're trying a new, I don't know, any products, you need to look at 90 days. And some products will actually purge your skin. So then you're like, oh my God, it's making my skin so much worse. When actually it's just trying to flush out and purge. That happened to a client of mine who's actually on the 10-day reset program with me. And she was like, is it okay that my skin's breaking out? And I knew she had skin problems. I said, yes, that's normal. That's your body just purging and trying to get rid. So just be patient with your skin. It doesn't happen overnight. So this is pretty much what I use. Cheap as you like. Organic rose water as a toner. I think it's about $9.99. Paula's Choice is a really good cleanser. I think it's 22 quid and it'll last you 5 months or something. And then CeraVe is a moisturizer, which Sarah recommended for me. You can get it from Boots. Don't get the pump one. It has to be the tub because it's different ingredients. And I think that's like a tenner and that'll last you forever. It's monstrous. It's a huge thing. So you don't have to be going to Blooming Space NK and spending, £99 on a little pump of, I don't know, frog juice or whatever it is they put in their stuff. It can be so simple. And these microfiber cloths, I don't know if you can see, but the top of it there, it's like a teddy bear. It's so soft. So you need to make sure they're like that. These are actually on Amazon. I think they're about 15 quid and you get 1, 2, 3, 4, it's about 10 or 12. So if you want, if you want the exact link, let me know and I'll ping it across to you. Don't go and get a household cleaning microfiber. When you're on Amazon or something, just put in for the face. Don't go doing it with a dishcloth. Illumia is a top brand product, which I also use some of their stuff. I am working with an amazing doctor called Dr. Raquel, who is doing needling on my face to help with my scars after 20, I don't know how many years now, 28 years now. And I finally decided it was the time to sort out my scars. And she uses these products. They're not chemically driven. They're really, really good products. They're expensive, but they work and they're proven and medical grade products. So really, really recommend them. As a makeup, Bare Minerals, you can't go wrong with, or Lily Lolo. They're the same as Bare Minerals, but cheaper and online. And a pot of their foundation is like 20 quid and just lasts ages. So it's all mineral based, which means your skin can breathe. If you put it on, it's not comedogenic. It's not going to block your pores. It's not going to cause spots. Really, really breathable, oil free, kind of, it's not going to be all greasy on your face. Really, really good stuff and cheap as chips and really good quality. And I actually have a lot of clients who are Tropic ambassadors, and I think Tropic is great. I love the ethos. I like how clean it is. No chemicals. I love the makeup and stuff. For me, because it contains quite a lot of oils, for my skin type, I can't really use the stuff that sits on the face, but I love the skin masks. I love the lipsticks. The mascara is amazing. Like if you want a company with good ethos, definitely Tropic. But yeah, it doesn't have to cost the earth. It's cheap and cheerful all the way for me. Illumia is different, but that's, you know, that will tackle your issues, but you go through a consultant on that. So I've been so lucky, you know, when I was talking about a needle in a haystack, I found the three owners of the haystack. So these guys are just amazing. Jeff obviously is my hero. I love him. It's his birthday today. We've been working alongside together for over 6 years now, and he has helped my family in so many ways. So he's my go-to guy for anything hormonal, anything out of whack, anything that needs balancing. He's the guy. Absolute, can't go wrong in his hands. And then Sarah and Raquel, both very different. Sarah is from Norway living in Finland, or from Finland living in Norway. I always get it wrong. She's a very dear friend of mine. She's gorgeous. And she was a molecular biologist who gave it all up to become a skin blogger to help women like her who had bad skin. Sarah came to stay with me. I've never seen anyone with skin like it. I couldn't stop looking at it. She's like a porcelain doll. She does not have a single mark on her face. She has the most beautiful skin I've ever seen in my life. And she has an amazing website. You can go on there, you can sign up to her free course. She does free newsletters that she emails to your inbox. She's natural. So she makes exfoliants out of coffee granules, and she goes on about diet and different honeys and all this kind of stuff. There's nothing she doesn't know when it comes to natural skincare. She has a ridiculous following on Instagram. When I met her, I think she had 2,000 followers. Now it's like thousands. And she does skin consultations for people, and you can be a one-to-one client of hers, and it's not expensive. She's so lovely. It's like, I think 90 euros for all of her coaching to get you clear with your skin. She's just lovely. And then Dr. Raquel is the lady who is helping me with my scarring. You can go to her with rosacea, aging, acne, anything, and she will fix you. She trains the Harley Street practitioners in London. She's one of the top people, and she's great and a good pal of mine, and you'd be in really, really safe hands. She works out of West Malling and also up in London. But you should check out her website, see what she does. And these people really know their stuff. Can't sing their praises enough. And then it's just having the right tools. And this thing, once you open it up, you could just get absolutely obsessed. Skincharisma.com. What it allows you to do is you can look at your foundation, your blusher, your moisturizer, your sun cream. You search it in this top bar here where it says search. You could type in, I don't know, I looked up Clearasil acne because I wanted to prove a point. Then it goes through all the Clearasil products. You pick the one that's yours, and then it tells you the results of how it performs. Now, I talked about comedogenic. Comedogenic sounds like a big word, but basically it's how likely is the product to cause you spots, okay? So a comedogenic rating of 0, I will use every day on my face. Comedogenic of 1, possibly 2, I would have to be careful with. It depends what the ingredient is. Some oils are fine with me, whereas something with a comedogenic 2, I could put on my face and I would break out. I will never, ever touch anything that's comedogenic 3, 4, and even go up to 5. If you put a comedogenic 5 on your face, doesn't matter if you're a skin model who's never had a spot in your life, I guarantee the next day you're going to wake up with a big zit on your face. Okay, so it's just 0 to 5. How likely is it to cause a spot? I looked up, and this is what makes me so angry, and I haven't shopped in Boots for about 6 years because everything in there is crap and you can pretty much turn around and come out when it comes to skincare. Clearasil tinted acne treatment cream, which means teenagers and mums are going to go out and buy it for their kids or buy it for their faces to treat their acne. And yet when you look up the ingredients, the first ingredient is a fungal acne trigger, and the one, two, three, fourth ingredients down is a comedogenic 5, which is the highest you can get on the rating scale, bad for oily skin, and also a fungal acne trigger. So they make money by putting crap in their acne products that cause more acne, so that then you buy more thinking, well, this is an acne treatment and my skin's getting worse, so I must use more of their range. And it's a massive money-making industry, and it's absolutely appalling. And you cannot trust when people say, oh, I use a really good product. It's called Simple. Simple is not simple. Simple is 200 ingredients of utter crap, and I wouldn't put it on my face. You have got to be so careful. When I was spending all this money at skin and laser clinics, and they were putting me on all these products, when I finally found this tool and I put in what they were putting on my face, they were all acne triggers and they were all fungal triggers. I couldn't believe it. And yet I was trusting them with hundreds of pounds. I think I spent £800 on one range of products once. I was so desperate. So this is why I'm about self-empowering people, and anything that sits on your skin should be checked on here, because you could have 6 products that are okay, but that night cream that you put on every night could be the one thing that is kicking your face off every time. So I would take a bit of time typing in your products. It will be a minefield. You'll be like, oh my God. There'll be ones that, so you can see this low risk to moderate risk. Some of them are like 60% high risk, and it will be like cancer causing ingredients and all sorts of things. So be careful with what you're putting on your skin, and this is a great tool to have. And this comes down to lowering your toxicity as well. Now, that you can't avoid toxins, okay? Unless you live in a bubble, we're all going to be toxic, okay? Because it's everywhere. It's in the paint on your wall, it's in your fish in the ocean, it's in the car exhaust you breathe, the air pollution, the canned food that you eat. It's all over our fruits and vegetables. It's in the seeds. Okay, we're a bit stuck, okay? So this is why it's so important to detoxify the body regularly. Stress also is a massive toxin. It should be like the middle one in the middle here. So you've got all these toxins, okay? And also people might take ibuprofen regularly, or they might be on, I don't know, antidepressants or blood pressure medications, statins, or, you know, any sort of medication. Again, that is a toxin for the body too. And then, as I've said, it's in our products. Now, if your skin is the largest organ and you're putting on things with perfume, if it says perfume on the back, that's up to 200 chemicals, okay? So if you're spraying your deodorant on, you know, that's all leaching through into your glands. You know, we've got to be so careful about what we put on our skin. We should be trying to go as natural and clean as we can, okay? Another really big toxin, especially if you struggle with skin, is dairy or gluten. If you've got bad skin and you went to go and see Jeff, he would ask you to remove dairy completely for 6 weeks and just see how you go. I don't think I'm dairy or gluten. I'm more adrenal. So if I was to drink lots of coffee, I think that would aggravate my skin. Alcohol, things like that, stimulants for me, because the adrenals are always quite low. So anything that stimulates that cortisol response, that stress response, will quickly drain me. So for me, it's stimulants like that. So my top tips with toxins: get the Think Dirty app. Okay, this is a free app. And what you can do is you can scan barcodes, especially with skin products. So you can scan the barcode on your concealer, your foundation, your shampoo, your conditioner, and it will tell you how toxic it is. And it has like a rating scale and all that kind of stuff. It's a really cool little app. You can use it in Sainsbury's when you're shopping. You can, you know, go and scan all your stuff at home, have a heart attack. But it will literally tell you how clean the stuff is that's going onto your body, onto your skin, and being absorbed in. Okay, so it's a really good app to have. Try and go non-GMO and eat as organic as you can. You know, like, it's all gone wrong. The food industry is just a mess now, and I think we're so far removed from where we should be. But, you know, you can get a bag of potatoes from Asda, and a year later they still look like a potato. It shouldn't look like a potato a year later. It should have grown eyes and legs and walked out of your fridge, you know, so or disintegrated into a pulp. So we need to be trying to eat as clean as we can, and similarly with the products we use around the home as well. And this is why diet and nutrition for me is when we have building blocks and we have the pillars of health, and if we're looking at skin, it's okay, well, good skin routine and managing stress. For me, diet, nutrition is your foundation. It's your absolute pillar of which everything sits upon. And for me, thanks to Jeff, when he said to me to use the Juice Plus products at the clinic, because he runs them out of the clinic for his patients, that for me was my lifeline. That was the thing that ultimately changed my entire life. And that started the journey for me of nutrition, and then sort of looking more into how we detoxify. Now, if your body is toxic, or if there's some toxins there, you will notice that you have lower energy. You wake up and need a coffee, you crash on the sofa at 8:30. Anyone that's that exhausted daily obviously has a high level of toxicity. Any digestion problems, bloating, lots of gas, Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, IBS, anything like that. Your skin is your big one. Brain fog, I'm sure most of us struggle with that. Lots of coughs and colds, being the one that picks things up very easily or takes a long time to shake it. And then just achy joints, that kind of thing. I mean, this is all inflammation as well, but these are the early kind of warning signs. And together with that is kind of the headaches, the migraines and stuff as well. So the reason why toxicity is an issue is because it creates a higher output of unhealthy, unstable cells. They're called free radicals. And what they do is, so you have a higher output of these, and they go around in the body attacking healthy tissue, trying to stabilize themselves. They also put a huge burden on our vital organs, which detoxify our body every day. So the kidneys, the liver, the lungs, and of course your skin. So what we need in our body is a massive abundance of antioxidants. Now, I'm annoyed because I wish they taught us this at school. If they had, I could have tackled my skin. Not one doctor ever talked to me about diet and nutrition. They just put me on medication, or they told me not to eat chocolate, as did some family members as well. Ridiculous. And I just wish we were empowering young people to understand and take better control of their body, because we're sitting in such a health crisis. And if we understood that an abundance of antioxidants fight these free radicals, these unstable cells, and stop these pockets of inflammation, this pocket of fire in the body, then we wouldn't be as sick and as tired and overweight and just undervital, suboptimal. Now, we get our antioxidants from fruits and vegetables, okay? But our guts also need a massive support. If you're not on a probiotic, you should look into it, because none of us are eating kefir and sauerkraut every day. We don't all pickle our food like we did 50 years ago. So there are a couple of probiotic brands out there that I believe are pretty good, but the ones that I swear by are Flora Syntrophy. You can get them from the clinic through Jeff. Jeff's buzzword is gut. He studied it for over 30 years. He is passionate about it. He has taken and tried every probiotic in the world, probably, or on the market. This is the only one he uses, and for good reason. I won't go into it, but lots of good reasons why. It works out cheaper than the other brands in the UK. The other good brands are Optibac and Biocult, but Flora actually works out cheaper. You get 180 in a bottle, which lasts you about 3 months. And they're absolutely brilliant. And guys, water. The easiest way for toxins to leave your body is to pee them out. If you're dehydrated, it's like a snow globe, especially if you're upping your nutritional intake and your detoxification. You're going to shake up those toxins. They've got nowhere to go. If they can't be peed out, what's the other way they're going to come out? Through your skin. They're going to be emitted through your skin. If you've got bad skin, you need to be thinking a lot about hydration and drinking a lot of water to stop it trying to come out through your skin and out through your wee. So especially if you're cleansing, water, 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 and more water. Obviously not too much, but yeah, 2 to 3 litres, I would say. Depends on your size and things, so you need to look into that. But it really is the elixir of life. It's massively anti-aging. If you look at photos of before and after of women that have done water challenges and things like that, it's unbelievable what happens to their skin. So going on to nutrition, just to sort of share with you, really, it's a double-pronged approach, because you need to be thinking about portions every single day. Now, in the UK, we're doing 3.7. We're not doing the 5, okay? But the largest study done has told us that we need to do 10, ideally. Okay, now what you will see here is the UK is trailing miserably behind the rest of the world. And if you're in Japan or Austria, you need 17 or 18 portions a day, and a portion is the size of your fist. Okay, that is a massive, like an apple. Okay, so you need to be doing 18 apples a day in terms of your fruit and veg intake. And in the UK, we manage 3. So the average, though, that's been pulled from all the studies is they're saying if you do 7 or more, you're 42% less likely to die prematurely, but nearly 8 million premature deaths will be avoided if we can go to 10. Okay, but as well as portions, we've got to look at variety as well. And variety really is the magic formula, because you need the portions to combat the toxicity, the free radical output. But studies show that the variety in the food you eat lowers the inflammation. So if you do have skin issues and it's angry and it's red, or you're finding the sort of aging process ramping up, then you need to have an abundance of berries because they're beautifying, as are yellow foods, but you need to make sure you've got the variety. So not just red tomatoes and carrots and things, but then having a red tomato and then red pepper and red watermelons, because what's in a red pepper is not what's in a red tomato. And an orange carrot is not the same as an orange. So as well as having the colour, you've got to then try and access as many of those vegetables of that colour and fruit, because there's over 100,000 nutrients and vitamins found in the variety of the food that was put on this planet for us to eat. So by having this orchestra, this huge variety of phytochemicals, which you're not going to get in a multivit, your well woman with 15 vitamins, you're missing out 99,000. You need to have the variety to provide and flood the body with the antioxidants that combat this inflammation. And then you need the living enzymes and the fiber and everything like that. So that brings me on to Juice Plus, which I've used. That's what dealt with my skin. So I had my awful skin. I went to see Jeff. He put me on Juice Plus because I was having this threatened miscarriage and I couldn't eat and I was throwing up and I was in a right state. And in 6 weeks, my skin cleared up for the first time in my life. And then about a year later, I thought, well, it's clear now, so I don't need these products. And then I stopped taking them. And in a week, my skin erupted to so many lumps under the surface. It was like it was making up for a year of no acne. And I literally have taken them every day ever since. And there is something in my diet that I can't access that I can access through these, the variety and the extra portions and the color. I just can't do it every day. As a busy mum with 2 kids and leading my busy life, we all have those days where it's like, toast for breakfast, a sandwich for lunch and a burger for dinner, and you're on the bread diet. It's so hard to constantly eat these 10 portions, this variety. It's impossible. So these products are natural. If they're fruit and veg in a capsule, that's it, done, dusted. They literally bridge a gap between what we should eat and what we do eat. They are not in place of food. I now pretty much have an organic vegan diet, but even if I missed a couple of days of capsules, you would know about it. The lumps would be there. I'm not free of my acne. It sits here with me. And then if the balance goes out and the stress or the sleepless nights and stuff, my skin will tell me it's not happy. So we are the most researched nutritional product in the world. And it just makes sense to me, because when you look at those vitamins in Holland and Barrett or Boots or something, it's like, what is that? What is in it? When you read the back, I can't even pronounce half of what's in it. So I don't want to put it in my body. They're not tested, they're not regulated. They come with warning labels: if pregnant, if on medication, speak to a doctor. Why? If it's that natural, why should this be dangerous? Taken, they deliver it in high dose, so the body doesn't recognize it. If you have a Berocca, your wee is orange and fluorescent for the next day. And they come with all these bulkers and fillers and talcum powders and God knows what. And they don't even disclaim it on the back either. And talcum powder contains all sorts of asbestos and everything. And that's all being ingested into the body. They're finding it in women's ovaries. It's just crazy stuff. So for me, taking 30 fruits, veggies and berries that have just been juiced, that the body knows that's an apple, that's a cherry, that's some kale, I'm happy with that. It's all proven to work and to cross the cells and to go into the bloodstream. They add additional natural sources of vitamin C, E and A for labeling purposes. So lemon peel, carrot juice, things like that. And there's no warning labels. I took it through my pregnancy. My two little nieces were born. The mum just took Juice Plus through her pregnancy, nothing else. It was all natural folic acid from lemon peel. I love that it doesn't have to come with a warning label. It's food in a capsule. So I just want to cover these quickly because I'm passionate about them. It's simply juicing made easy. Okay, if you've all done juicing at home, you'll know what a faff and how messy it is. So what they've done is they've taken 30 fruits, veggies and berries our farmers grow for us in organic soils. It's minimally processed, it's tested to show there's no heavy metals, they don't allow any pesticides, herbicides, and they've got over 40 studies in medical journals. It's all vegan, gluten-free, non-GMO, and it hasn't been degraded. So Cambridge University in 2015 did a study, it was an independent study actually, and they said that it was in no way degraded or compromised and as robust as found in nature. They could identify every single structure of the food, and they made whole new scientific discoveries they didn't know existed in the certain chains of anti-aging and things like that. Really, really clever stuff. So it's clean, it's organic, it's free of pesticides and herbicides, it's raw. We're not applying heat, we're not killing it. It's in its natural state to deliver all that good stuff to you, that living stuff. And they're sugar-free. We've taken out all of the fructose and the natural sugars. So safe for diabetics. So for every 2 capsules that you have, you're getting half a pint of juice in your body every day. Super simple, super affordable, super convenient. And when I talked about the variety, and I think this is where my body struggles, I can't do this every day. I'm not going to boil an artichoke for an hour. I don't know where I can buy elderberries or bilberries. I don't even know if I've eaten a bilberry. It could be a blueberry. No, because I don't know what a bilberry is. I did eat a prune last night. Spirulina, never done it. Taste of grass, not interested. I get this every day in my body, and it's not that you're getting a portion of each in your body of each thing. It's all mixed together, and then you're getting roughly 5 or so portions across all the capsules. But it's delivering the nutrients of the apple and mixing it beautifully with the nutrients of the cabbage and the garlic that creates this harmony and this, I don't want to say magic, it's not magic, it's science, but this, for me, this magic effect in my body that when I go back to my normal diet, which is carrots and peppers and courgettes and then peas and sweet corn, I just can't, something doesn't work in my body. And this is why I love these and why we get amazing results. So I'm going to come back onto the skin, but I just want to say that the studies show all of these amazing things, teeth, gums, inflammation. It brings down your inflammation. That's the key thing you need to know. And it's bioavailable. It crosses into your blood in 20 minutes of taking it, and it starts doing its thing. It will support your immune system. It'll bring that balance in, which is why, for me, it made such a massive impact on my hormones. It made an impact on my mental health and my well-being, my skin and that kind of thing. It just corrected those scales which were completely out of whack. So going on to the skin study results, they've done an independent study out of Austria, published in the British Journal of Nutrition, and they showed that the Juice Plus capsules, fruit, veg and berry, improved the microcirculation of the skin and the blood flow by 39%. So that is fundamental if you're thinking about skin radiance and health and toxicity. It also decreased the markers of oxidation and inflammation. So it decreases that fire, that rage in your skin. So if you're somebody that gets rosacea or patchy skin and things like that, eczema, stuff like that, if it's improving the inflammation levels and bringing down that oxidation that happens with free radicals, then ultimately we're going to see positive effects. It really supports and boosts the actual hydration of the skin, the barrier function, so how prone it is to absorbing toxins. It actually created a barrier, an actual shield against the toxins that surround it. It improved the density and the thickness of the skin. It influenced your skin color. And we hear about the Juice Plus glow. We interviewed an amazing scientist at the start of lockdown about COVID, and he said, I always know when I'm at a Juice Plus conference because you have this glow. You walk towards me and I'm like, they're taking the products, because you can see it in the skin. And they concluded the study by saying that the capsules provide a building block for healthy skin and cells. And that is where I sit heavily, where I feel that if our nutrition is on point and we're plugging gaps daily and we're keeping inflammation down, then everything else that we do to our skin will be enhanced and we'll get even better results. So if you use the capsules, you can also support your kids. And I know that somebody on the call, we were talking about their teenage daughter. If somebody, these were out here when I was 12, they've been going for 30 years. If somebody had told me about Juice Plus at 12, I am confident, I don't know, 98% confident I wouldn't have had my skin journey that I had. I think I would have avoided all that misery because I know what it does for my skin now. And when you're 12, 14, 16, your body is raging. It's going through so many changes. You're up against so much pressure at school. You know, our young kids, you know, they're vegetable dodgers. They don't want to eat artichokes and bilberries. My boys don't want to eat all that stuff. I love this. Get it into the kids. It's free. Brilliant. Another thing that's really worth looking into for healthy skin is omegas. We have an omega 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9, and it's plant-based. We're not killing the fish and taking it out of the liver. We're going straight to the algae for the omega 3. But the reason why omegas are so vital is they're proven to support the heart, the brain, the eyes, but also they prevent sun damage. They help prevent skin cancer. They reduce inflammation. They reduce acne. They promote wound healing. They reduce dry, itchy skin. Omegas are incredible for healthy skin tissue and keeping damage at bay, I guess. They're also proven to support your hormones. And the omegas 5 and 7 are ones that people rarely hear about. They're brilliant for women, for example. So they're very sustainable. We're not killing the fish. They're all clean because that's all we ever do. Nothing artificial in there. And they come with an informed choice certification. So what's on the label is in the product, as with all of our products. The other thing that I wanted to mention, which if I had a medicine cabinet, because I do have to gloat and say we haven't had a cold for 6 years, but if I had a medicine cabinet, actually I do have ibuprofen in there for the occasional hangover, mine would have adrenal uplift in it. So when I go on holiday, I do like a week camping or something, I will always take 2 Uplift with me. If I take my boys out for a day at National Trust and I'm with a load of friends, I might take an Uplift with me just in case. Yeah, I call it Mummy's Little Helper because this is for your adrenals. And for somebody like me who is very adrenally sensitive, this is incredible. It's the elixir of energy. So it's natural products, minimally processed, and natural caffeine from plants. But basically what it does is it floods the body with B vitamins. So instead of waking up exhausted and having a coffee, which drains your adrenals, or having a Red Bull, which is completely toxic and full of stuff that shouldn't even be legal, if you had an Uplift in some water, it will flood your body with B vitamins and you will actually get a very sustained energy release. For me, it's up to about 6 hours. So if I have one at like 2:30 before I go and pick the boys up, say if I've had a really bad night, I don't have one every day. I know some people use it for their athletic performance and fueling their body because that puts a big strain on the adrenals. And Jeff prescribes it to like his city guys who are up at 4 and have like really high pressure jobs. Instead of instead of having 10 coffees a day, just have an Uplift because it will really balance out that up and down energy spikes that we get. It's really, really clever stuff. And then finally, just to end on cleansing, this is a very clear sign of people who are toxic. This is not a diet, okay? Because when you diet, you leave the toxins behind, okay? We're not basing it on restriction. This is simply, we run a 10-day cleanse reset program, which is like giving your car a jump start, and it gives a firm kick up the arse to your body to really upregulate all your organs. And it simply removes toxins. If you're carrying a little excess weight, it will really help with that as well because fat is there to protect your body. And if you diet, you shed fat, but not toxins, which will leave you ultimately feeling worse and more run down and possibly sick. Whereas if you can lose the toxins, the fat is left redundant. So when we cleanse, we simply just remove the stuff that doesn't serve us, the inflammatory foods. We give the body and our digestion a break. We eat to nourish on a cellular level. We eat plenty. It's just the good stuff. So really flexible, and the list is endless. So I'm on day 8 today. My energy's through the roof. You lose the bloating. It really upregulates your bowel movements. You just feel vital and optimal. And I think it's absolutely awesome. So it just leaves me to say that, you know, beauty, you don't have to be perfect. And I've learned that the hard way. There are so many people who can help you. And whoever invited you onto this call, please reach out to them. Like, they can put you in touch with me, or if you want to try the products or something, please do. Please don't ever compare yourself to somebody else. I have a natural, I spot good skin, and equally I spot bad skin. If I see a girl covered in acne, I just want to give her a hug and give her my card or something and just say, please call me, I can help you. But equally, if I see beautiful skin, I appreciate it so much. But I can't compare my skin to somebody else because it would just depress me. So, you know, we're all on our own journeys. It does not define you. That's something I've had to really kind of, you know, when you have to go to work looking like that, it makes you tough in a certain way. And it also shows that you are strong and determined. And I think having natural lines or scars or wearing your face is just a sign that you're living your life. And, you know, it's kind of a roadmap of your life. So there will always be a solution though, and someone that can help you. Take your time with your face, or with your skin. Don't expect miracles overnight, and don't try to do everything at once as well. Don't switch every product, go on a cleanse, try different things, because then you won't know quite what's working. So just try and introduce baby steps. It's what we say about everything when it comes to health. Don't try and run a marathon tomorrow. Just get up and do a 10-minute walk around the block, you know, just one step in front of the other. Take baby steps at a time. And if you want to connect with me, please do. You can find me on Facebook, Chloe Myers. Just find me, or ask whoever put you on the call to connect us or something. If you've got questions or you want to get any help, I will always help people. It's a real passion of mine. And, you know, thanks to Jeff, he's helped me. And if I can pay that forward, I always will. I'm here to serve. Yeah, that's it from me, really. Does anybody have any questions? I know the chat box was going, but would anyone like to unmute themselves and ask a question at all before we go? I'm aware we started a few minutes late.
Chloe, can I ask a quick question?
Yes, my darling.
The bamboo cloth that Tropic offer with their cleanser, is that good enough to wash off with? Because they're really soft.
Yeah, I don't know. If they're super soft, it's fine. Just think fluffy cloud. Whatever you're using on your face, think fluffy cloud. If it's super soft, you don't want to, even exfoliating, like, oh my God, some of the ones I've used in the past, I used to think the more I scrubbed, the better my skin would look. So I'd get the ones with the massive amounts of beads in it, and you're like really getting in it. Yeah. You don't want to actually. It wants to be like almost like a smooth cleanser with tiny little bits of grit in. And it's really gentle. And you only want to exfoliate once a week, maybe twice. So, you know, I was, oh God, you know, when your skin's that bad, it was like every day. You've got to be so careful not to overstimulate the oil production. And that's the big mistake people make when they've got bad skin, is that they overwash. All you do is strip the oil out. So the body's like, make more oil, make more sebum. It's like the worst thing we can do. So yeah.
Thank you. And really valuable information about the water. I always just splash water on my face, and now I won't.
No, use your cloth, less water, because it will dehydrate your skin.
Cool.
Yeah. Anything else? And don't use soaps. They're not neutral pH and they're full of stuff. I actually started off oil cleansing. I'm a massive advocate of oil cleansing. So for years I used grapeseed oil. So as my cleanser, I just got some organic grapeseed oil in your hand. And you do that, you wipe it off, and then you don't need a moisturizer. Literally, my skincare routine when my skin was healing and got it clear with the product was I just little bit of oil, rub it all in, wipe it off with the cloth, do it again, wipe it off with the clean side of the cloth. And the second time, when you wring it out, instead of wiping it off, you wipe it off again. Then you put a tiny few drops, warm it in your hands. This is your third lot of oil, tiny few drops, and you just push it into the skin. And that was it. No toning, no moisturizer. It was literally that. So if you're somebody that, you know, has natural, really good skin, that'd be plenty. You don't need to, yeah. And Jeanette, then you scrub your face to dry it with a towel. Gentle, gentle. Think of it as you know, imagine if your face was your baby with butt rash. You're not going to scrub it, you're not going to put loads of water on, you're going to be like, oh, I'm so sorry, so delicate. Literally treat your face like a butt rash. Be so gentle to it. Yeah. Anything else? Hannah, dairy gives you asthma. Yeah, so Jeff would say that dairy, anybody that suffers with mucus, throat, breathing, or skin shouldn't be on dairy. It's so inflammatory for the mucous membranes and for the cells. So the first port of call he would do if you came in with asthma, or if you came in with any breathing or mucus issues or skin, he would just say, take it out. You can't even, it's not about how much you have. You can eat a kilo of cheese, or you can lick the back of a spoon that's got milk on it. It's the same thing in the body. The body recognizes dairy. So it's not about quantity. It has to be a total thing. That means Prosecco, people. Dairy's in Prosecco along with shellfish. Carver. Do Carver. It's a lot cleaner. Yes. Uplift is amazing. Uplift for athletic performance. Yes, there are some people on the call, I'm sure, that would, but drop me a message and I can, I'm not so much of an athletic performer. I do a half an hour workout every morning, but that's it. But yes, the people who do long distance running and stuff, obviously anything more than an hour of exercise puts your body under a huge free radical output. So you are going to have to support your adrenals. So Uplift, when people use it and are running, they're like, oh my God, I'm like the Duracell bunny. You just keep going. It's brilliant for sustaining, but you also need to make sure if you're doing a lot of exercise, you must be doing 16 to 18 portions of fruit and veg, not the 10. If you're doing anything more than about an hour. This is why athletes get injuries. So yeah, lots and lots of fruit and veg. Okay, thanks so much. This is the first part. I have the recording I will, yes, I'll put that on. And do champagne, yes. Carver, or if you're Amy, just go straight to the chase and do champagne. Fabulous. Yeah, Prosecco doesn't like you. When I drink Prosecco, I look like Leslie Ash. My lips, I go massive. Yeah, I'm allergic. So, and Jeff was like, it's all the rat poison. I was like, okay, Jeff. So yeah, we won't do, I'll go and look at rat poison and Prosecco. It's very interesting. Yeah, Carver or champagne. Okay, on that positive note, if you need anything, please message me. I'm here, and I hope you took lots of value tonight. And thank you so much for jumping on. Lots of love. Bye.